Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to the next day of our Movies Critics Hate, but we love podcasts.
To continue, we're talking about one of the most popular movies among Dreamworks fans,
Shark Tale! Shark Slayer!
And it's a very odd thing for a lot of people because you see critics, you see reviewers online, they always say it's the worst Dreamworks movie next to Over the Hedge or the B movie or something. It's considered one of the trash movies, which is a weird way of saying it.
So they don't know that this is from The Godfather or Godfather 1 or 2 or 3. To them, it's just a fun movie that has this plot.
Yes.
And it was fun. It was really just a fun, likable movie. I love they had Robert De Niro and Martin Scorsese and these other people that are Italians or sometimes play mafia characters, but they're actual Italians.
Mm-hmm.
And it was brilliant. To me, it was brilliant. DreamWorks, as we've always said, has this wonderful way of either taking books and making them into movies and keeping the essence of the stories, or taking a screenplay for an animated movie and just making you fall in love with it. Right. It was the same with this. I don't understand how anyone could dislike this movie. Personally, I just can't see why. The characters were fun. The animation was great for its time. You had a star, just the whole cavalcade of stars in it during that time. Mm-hmm. Kid-friendly, Christina Aguilera remaking an original hit. Mm-hmm. And I just don't see how you could dislike it. And Will Smith was fabulous as Oscar. He was perfect. He couldn't have done anything better to make this character better. So,
and you could tell, and that was another weird criticism people didn't really understand from a fan viewpoint, is that, some of the fish were designed to look like their actors, so that just means that this is who they really had in mind playing the role. Like what happened in Rise of the Guardians, looked like they wanted Tom Hiddleston to play Pitch Black, but ended up getting Jude Law, but you could tell the influence of the actor. Mm-hmm. And here, Oscar looks a little bit like Will Smith.
Oh, he looks a lot like, especially with the ears, the big ears, yeah.
Right. And with
the shark.
The shark.
Like Jack Black.
Yeah, Angelina Jolie, where it's about, she looks like,
fish.
Yeah, they all look like the actors, so it's clear who they had intended to be them, and they were anthropomorphized, so it didn't look creepy or lame or like it looked like you want to throw up. It looked awesome. It looked funny to me. It looked fine to me because not everybody looked like that. Some of the fish look like fish, and some of them look like they're actors. That was kind of like the little tongue-in-cheek thing. The main characters look like they're actors, and everyone else look like fish or shark or jellyfish or whatever.
Now, I remember this came out in 2004. It's like another one of the movies, Catwoman, that movies critics hate, we love. Mm. So, when you think about it, that's kind of interesting. Both these movies came out the same year, and both were critically panned. This movie, it took $75 million to make, which is a very tiny budget compared to what it takes to make blockbuster animated movies now.
Right.
And it grossed over 5 times the amount it took to make it, $367 million. Mm. So, again, if it's a failure, then there were a ton of people who loved it.
Yeah.
And it can't be a failure.
Yeah. And you're right. And it's only through critic-wise because it still got a following to this day. It made way more than the budget. It got an Academy Award for Best Animated Feature.
And then you also had Peter Falk was one of our Nana's favorite actors. You had Michael Imperioli, who plays Spider on The Sopranos, mm-hmm. Vincent Pastore. As I said, these guys normally play mobsters. You had Ziggy Marley, and everyone knows the last name Marley.
Right.
You had Renee Zellweger, who went on to win an Oscar. So Dougie Doug was a rapper back in the 80s and 90s. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, to sit and say that this was just not a good movie, I don't know. And then you had Phil Lamar and Jennifer Lewis, and come on.
It's right, come on. Yeah, I'm like, why are you so harsh on it? I know there are a few DreamWorks movies that are kind of meh, or they were okay, but they have yet to make a movie, and I know even Shrek 3 gets criticized, but they have yet to make a movie where I felt like this is one of the worst things they've ever made. And it's rare because even we still haven't seen all the DreamWorks movies. There's still like maybe a few left, either in production or left in the library that we have not seen yet. But for the most part, we love just about every single movie they've put out, from the time that the company was made in the first movie to the new movies that have come out this year.
Now, there was something that we were reading saying that the film was produced concurrently with Finding Nemo.
Yeah, so
a year and a half before.
Yeah, and they think that it was supposed to be a rip-off of Finding Nemo.
That's impossible. It doesn't even have the same storyline.
It's fish in the water.
Oh yeah, but that's every movie then that's being made about fish. It's even imitating the aquarium. So
right. So and there have been Finding Nemo rip-offs, but they're not big budget movies. They're literal mockbusters that try to gain off the success of a well-known movie.
And have the same storyline. This doesn't have the same storyline. It's a fish. It's some fish, and it's some fish, and it's brightly animated, and it's brightly animated, and the fish breathe underwater, and the fish breathe underwater. That's the similarities.
Yeah. So yeah, any similarities were mere coincidence because it was a year later. They had the same thing going on with ants and A Bug's Life.
It's not. It's impossible. It's a copy. It's impossible. It's a ripoff. It's not the same movie.
Right.
And anybody can make movies about fish if they're not the same story and the same animation and the same producers and directors and things. It's not the same movie.
Right.
So.
And I know people probably wonder if they're gonna have a sequel. Well, the way it ended, I don't think so. And they pretty much confirmed that they weren't gonna do any more of the parodies, the genre parodies, like they did with Shark Tale, they did with Monster vs. Aliens, which was a parody of all those Svengoolie style movies from Universal, and Mega Man, which is a parody of the superhero stuff.
Right.
And it said, all share an approach and tone, idea of parody did not travel well internationally. So even if people really liked it, what they're really focused on is how it does well in financial wise. Is this like enough to produce another one? So I think that's what the studio really runs on when it comes to a lot of theatrical movies. Even if it's well loved, oh, that's great, still get selling copies and stuff if people haven't seen it. But in terms of that, that's what seems like what this studio focuses on.
And another thing that was great is it was kid friendly, even with sexy Angelina Jolie and the mobster fish and all that. It was still kid friendly.
Right.
So.
And we loved Lenny. We loved Lenny.
Yes,
so.
I love the movie. Every character was spot on, and it was hilarious. Had some of the best lines written for an animated movie, and it was not only kid friendly, but adults could love it too. I mean, more than just me loves it. It couldn't have made all this movie without adults loving it too. So
right.
It's unfortunate that it got this type of critical backlash. There's not going to be a 2. But I think one thing it teaches anyone out there is don't listen to the critics when deciding you're going to see a movie or not. Base it on the ad or the trailer and see if you want to see it. And sometimes the trailer can be misleading, and it's a whole different movie. Like with Speed Racer, it had one trailer, and the movie was totally different from what they showed. And take a chance and decide for yourself whether you love it or you hate it.
Right.
So, again, critics hate it, but obviously and clearly kids and parents and even
so many people
love it. Yeah, and this was a part of a lot of the Rascal family's childhood. So, yeah, you know, it's a great movie. And DreamWorks is just awesome at making movies that we love.
All right. So, thank you so much for watching, and tune in tomorrow for our next podcast. I'm Ask Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.
And reporters sitting flashing lights, trying to walk around, man, who the hell are you? What you wanna do? Well, man, it's on you. Man, it's on you. Met her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket, give it to you later on in the phone.